Hello everyone. So Brian asked me to make a quick video on doing OpenBoard, which is the software that I've been using to do lectures. This is going to get kind of confusing because this program that I'm currently on is called Screencast-O-Matic. So you can too use that. It's mostly free, or if you want to use my premium, you can. And it will record anything going on your screen, as you can see. However, right now we're on my Mac and we have to go to my digital desktop for the college. So we're going to switch into even another computer to do this. So the first thing is you'll see OpenBoard.ch. That is the OpenBoard software that I have been using. It's all free. Open source just means there's a bunch of different developers throughout the world that are working to make this free and to develop it. So make sure you get the English version. Some of the help documents are frustrating to go through just because this was originally developed in French. So it doesn't always make sense, but it tries as much as it can to push you through. Any of these tutorials are all French, so I would not recommend that. In any case, I have it saved on my desktop, and you can see that whenever I make a video or a podcast, as you'll see how to do, it saves it onto my desktop, and I just find that the easiest way to store it for now until I load it onto YouTube. YouTube tends to be the best reservoir for these, and then you can just send out a link to them. So you open OpenBoard, and then you'll see how this opens. Right now I have the background set to black. You can do white by going up to backgrounds. Over here, you'll see your pages listed. So you can always add more pages. Obviously, if you go up to the plus pages, you can have an endless amount. Whenever I do lectures, I tend to design a title page that people can see right off. And I like to play music at the start of lectures because it's supposed to enhance learning. And then for the rest of them, I might not put anything on there if they're going to be watching me teach on the screen, but I might queue up different text boxes just so I have those ready to go. So all I would have to do when lecturing is just type. So that's something that you can do. You could always already have part of your picture drawn if you're going to draw. Like I suck at drawing, so sometimes I'll do this is really bad because right now it's with my hand mouse. Oh yeah, that's a duck. It's supposed to be a human face. And yep, okay, well, you can see why I might pre-draw some stuff. In any case, you might have some stuff pre-drawn, so then when you do the podcast, you would just go over and redraw over it, and then the students can follow along. Over here off to the right, you'll see different components of things that you can add on. Audio, you can add all these things into there. And the biggest thing is it comes with like one set audio, but if you want, so see how I go to OpenBoard and hide OpenBoard, that's how you minimize it. If you download something and you want to access it within the app, you have to actually arrange it so that it gets saved within that folder. So the location of the folder on my desktop is C Program Files 86, and then you go to OpenBoard, and then you go to Library, and then you would save your file that you're downloading under one of these respective folders. You'll notice here that I have them shortcutted over here. The way that you can do that is you just do Control, and then you should have a shortcut button somewhere, but it's not popping up. In any case, you may have to Google this because I don't know why it's not popping up here. You can also copy the path to make it easier for you. If you copy the path, then this is the path that would show up, and you can just copy and paste it when you're downloading. In any case, if you figure out how to shortcut it. Going back to here, so I want to put some sound on here. It's all a drag and drop program. So then now that I have it on here, you play the music, and then there's options where you can put in videos or movies. So I want to put this in there, and I'm going to push play, and then that would play when I deem it to do so. This comes with some interactivities, so you can also save this open board as an accessible board for students, and they can log in and participate in the activities that you've put on here, so that's always an option. A lot of these you're going to have to resize. Let's see if I can get this toward the middle. So it wants you to categorize the pictures, so odd numbers. And you can edit these, obviously, and change them to be whatever you want. Maybe you categorize pictures by trauma, non-trauma, is the scene safe, not safe. That's just some basic EMS ideas. But you could do like a choose box and then have them choose, you know, which is the best answer. So there's a lot of different cool interactivity options there. Shapes, there's applications that you can add. So you can do a calculator on here that maybe they're doing math work and then they're going to be doing their calculator on there. So that's the basic thing. It's all drag and drop. You can kind of explore all these options and see for your particular lecture what you want to add into it. Here's a little cell we can add and play around with that. Oh, look at this! Look at the nucleus. Isn't that neat? Again, backgrounds you can change to dark or light, whatever you want to do. There's pens, erasers, markers. These are just the touchies. Now you can zoom in and zoom out. There's also a laser pointer where you can, while you're lecturing, do that. And then obviously the lines, and then you could type messages to your students while you're chatting with them. Let's say that we've developed a lecture previously, then if you go under documents, you can see my previous ones are on here. So here's the one I'm working on right now. It's dates and time stamped. If I want to go back to this biodome one I did, then I would go and access that right there. So that is that. If you import a document, so like for some of these I imported images this way instead of adding it to my image folder, you would go to import, and then let's see if I have anything I can import. Here we go. I'm going to import my son's birthday image. But now it's obviously just sitting out there. You would go back to your lecture and go to Open and Board to go back to the one that you wanted. Or if you wanted to start with this and say, okay, I want this to be my lecture, then you can open that in the board and that can be your first page or whatever page. So that's that option. You can add folders of images, pages from files, etc. You can export these. So here's the lecture that I was working on, export it in OpenBoard format, which would mean the students are going to download OpenBoard and they're going to open up your presentation in OpenBoard, or you could save it as PDF. So they would be able to look at it like in a printable format. However, I at least tend not to do this because I use the podcast function. So the podcast, once you push record, will record everything you're saying and doing, and then what you're doing on the middle screen, and then it will record you writing, what you're typing, everything that you're showing. So that's a nice option. And then once you click stop on the podcast, it will save whatever part of that video to your desktop. While you're doing your podcast, you can alternate from here's your board. Let's say that you had a website pulled up. I haven't really gotten good results out of trying to search, so pull up the website on your desktop. Oh, here we go. It actually does work. And then click on it, and then I have it loaded for the lecture. So I'd say, hey, I'm going to show you a news article, and I'm going to the web right here. Alternatively, maybe you have a YouTube video that you want to show. You can go onto YouTube from here, or you could have it loaded just on your regular like Google Chrome or Internet Explorer, and then just have it loaded on your desktop. So when you go to view desktop, then you can see what's on here and you would just push play. As you can see off to the side, there's all of your open board options off to the side here now. So I can actually write on my desktop as part of the presentation. Or I could add on to things as part of the desktop presentation. So I want to add a blue arrow. Oh, that didn't work. Oh, I think I'm saving it to this thing here. You can still see my little hi right there. I wonder if it'll continue. Nope, that didn't work. All right, so don't try to move the shapes. Just draw as you will, and then you can emphasize videos or emphasize lectures or whatever you want. When you're ready to go back, you just do the back on the open board. Again, you would just push stop whenever you're done with your lecture. It auto saves both the board and the podcast. However, I found that it's not going to show up over in your page thing until you click on to the next page. So you may want to click out of that page that you're on just to make sure that it's saved. And then you can just always go to either Alt F4 or quit. So that is just the basics of OpenBoard. It's a nice system to be able to do some lectures that are more in tune to like the Khan Academy lectures rather than just plain PowerPoint lectures. And then you can enter work, say you make videos on skills and then you want to do a lecture on skills as well. I would just make short videos, upload them, and then you can put them in your lecture, but also do things surrounding it where you may be typing out information or drawing information as needed. So that's just a short little brief overview of how you use it. If you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, that'll be one of our main resources to connect with our students this semester. And then I'm working on some other things that we can use as well. All right, see you later. Bye.